Hey everybody, it's Busy Little Bee. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a pretty long video. This is going to be all the stuff that Rosie did leading up to the release of Big Girls Wanted Escaping Paradise. Now, remember, she had 1 minute and 14 seconds in this 3-hour long docuseries, and she did all this spiraling because I think that she thought her story was going to get aired. And we've seen her say different things about how she got into feederism. In the tabloids, she said her friend who did sex work told her about it. In her podcast interview, she's saying that she was groomed into it by her cyber stalker, who she went 3 states away to go visit and have sex with. A lot of what this woman says just is not credible, and I think that's why most of us think she's a liar. And she keeps fighting it and saying, "I'm not a liar." Well, when you tell 2 or 3 different stories about the same event and they're all conflicting stories, yeah, you seem like a liar. So because she thinks she can gaslight us and be like, "Oh, it was always Girl World making this all about me," I'm going to include the clips from Vegas. I'm going to include her TikTok lives where she was going up on these panels with Stefan and girls who were actually victims of Stefan. She went on her Instagram story crashing out. She came on live stream angry. So this is just going to be a very detailed walk through the recent past. This is all about Rosie's reaction to the docuseries, both the trailer dropping, the in-between, and then when it dropped. Let's get started.
I'm going to Vegas. The number one question is, Rosie, why are you going to Vegas? That's a secret. I am very nervous. I'm very excited, low-key kind of terrified because there's just a lot outside of my control. And there's a lot to this that I can't wait to tell you guys about. So until then, let's get packing. But I'm really excited. I'm very worried about my ability to just like cope through my fear and anxiety. I'm hoping I'll have the energy to go out a little bit once I'm done filming, just maybe hit 1 or 2 spots. But I know that, and of course I want to gamble a little bit. So it's just gonna kind of like, I'm gonna have to play it by ear and just be careful with like my spending, because I do have like a set budget, and I am very blessed. Like they gave me a $125 Uber voucher, which I wasn't expecting. Oh my God. So now it's gonna save me a ton of money, like when it comes to, cause I can't walk super long distances. So I'll be able to like hop to and fro on the strip, and I think do a lot more without having to worry about renting a scooter. Viva Las Vegas, baby! Hey. Oh, come off of it. Obviously, I can't get too into the specifics about stuff, but I have an appointment booked. Why are you guys asking me about Amber? Like, I already told y'all I'm not discussing her anymore. Like, I'm in Vegas. I'm not in Oklahoma. That's like the second or third person to ask me. Like, this is about me. Like, it's just frustrating. I'm still kind of reeling from the project itself. It was a lot. When it's released, I don't remember, but somebody mentioned NDA today, and I was like, there was an NDA. Did I sign that? I don't remember signing that. And no, I'm not doing a fucking feederism collab. I'm not doing a mukbang collab. I'm not doing a fucking food convention. Y'all, some of y'all, not my audience, some of y'all over there sound stupid as hell.
I mean, she was there to talk about feederism, so it kind of was a feederism collab. Now Rosie's looking stupid, not the people who were speculating.
I just wish I was in a different place in life. Like, I wish I had been able to make different decisions getting up to this moment in some ways, but everything happens for a reason, and I know, like, you know, I have some plans and ideas for like my upcoming life. I am officially in the hotel. I have my sleeping bed and my bullshit bed. So my suitcase is on the bullshit bed. I saw a TikTok the other day somebody who was in a hotel by themselves, and she was like, "This is my sleeping bed and this is my eating bed," and like low key, that's what's gonna happen here. I wanted to show you guys what I ordered for my first dinner in Vegas. I ended up choosing Lazy Dog Bar. The food looked really good, and I was just kind of cruising around, and I wanted to try something like I've never had before, and like items I've never had before. So I don't even normally like deviled eggs, but I was so intrigued by these crispy deviled eggs. I must try them, so I got them. I got some Brussels sprouts for, you know, health. so healthy. You can tell all the health all over those Brussels sprouts, but they're gonna taste delicious. And then I got barbecue bison meatloaf. So this is meatloaf made out of bison, and there's like string onions. Editing Rosie, look up what you ordered, bitch, and describe it, because I don't know what's fucking happening here. There's onions and mashed potatoes, and this looks like something to taste good. I thought I got the version without ice cream because I don't want ice cream. I really don't. But this is an apple huckleberry pie for dessert. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish all this or not, but this is a really big day. I don't know when y'all are gonna see me again, but this is a really big day. I just got back from everything an hour ago, or half hour ago. Oh, for lunch they brought In-N-Out, they brought me In-N-Out, which was delish. That was honestly one of the most disappointing meals I have ever had. I just lost $50. Broke my ring. Had like the worst buffet I've ever had. Really nice guy here, but he made $50 off of me. So this is the most expensive zero sugar 7-Up I've ever had. I think I am gonna spend my last $10 here. I didn't want to be weird and whip out my phone while she was here, but I sat down to talk about like everything that just happened. I sat down, and as soon as I sat down, this like lovely Indian woman walked up to me, and she was like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I was like, "Sure." And she sits down, her friend takes a photo of us sitting together, and as she goes to stand, like, she thanks me, and she goes to stand up, and I go, "May I ask why?" And she pauses and she looks at me with like so much earnestness, and she goes, "You have such a pretty face."
Rosie on May 21st did a community tab post that announced, "Watch this documentary, you might see a familiar face, wink." And then she went live that evening, and this is what she had to say.
It's been a wild week in my life. We have so much to debrief on. Good Lord. Yeah. Like, oh, hi, baby. Yes.
By the way, Rumi is here as well.
I don't know. So, like, and one of the first things I want to say out the gate is, like, this documentary is not about me, obviously. And, like, I'm really excited that not only part of it, but, like, a very, how can I word this? A very integral part in the early process. And I'm very excited that I had that opportunity to help share this story, because I was like watching the TikToks Kimmy was making as a lot of the events that are going to be covered in this situation were uncovered, and I have my own plot in it. So, okay, I'm a little out of the loop. What's this trailer coming out on? So, first of all, I have it linked to the pinned comment. I have it on my YouTube community chat post. I shared the reel on my Instagram. I stitched the TikTok. Choose your platform. It's a minute and 30 seconds. Come back once you watch it. Yeah, I made it very easily accessible for y'all. I don't want to share too many details about like the actual production or project itself because first of all, I want to see it. And second of all, there's like a lot of stories and a lot of experiences that are very important and need to be highlighted and need to be talked about. And that's why, because I did get a comment that I want to address off rip. Because somebody was like, you said on your live you would never go to the Pearadise house, da 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 da. I did say that. And I meant it. So if you want to know more, we can debrief that after the documentary's happened and you can watch it. But there's a reason I'm involved, and that's all I'm going to say. It's being aired June 10th at between 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern time on Investigation Discovery, like on TV, and it'll be available for streaming on HBO Max streaming services. Yeah. Ali asks, hey girl, what a cool opportunity to share your story. Honestly proud of you for not spilling even the slightest beads. Thank you, Ali.
I mean, this is exciting stuff. This is a big deal.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
For you.
It's so funny because I actually went through my emails and I realized like almost to the day, like it was only off by like, well, maybe almost the day might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but within a few weeks of today, 2 years ago was when this project was starting. June 10th about to be lit. Hey. And I just want to say this too, because like I'm seeing the comments on the trailer, like I'm not reading them in depth to be honest. I've had to just skim them. But I really don't want people's disdain for me to impact the stories that the victims are sharing in the documentary. I'm excited to be a part of it in the way that I can help highlight the stories and share my experiences in relation to my own story, which I do have linked in the description as well. I also have the trailer linked in the description. And I went ahead and I also linked, in case anybody who's newer, who isn't aware, I linked my original podcast interview that is like kind of how I became involved in this project for anyone who may be interested in seeing it, because I think it's just going to give good context to some of the things that I discussed, because again, this isn't about me. So I mean, I'm curious to see what they do and don't keep. I'm going to give it a watch. Is the interview important to the documentary? I don't necessarily know if it is going to be, but it gives my backstory in relation to feederism, which is my essential role in the documentary.
You do have a story, like you have been through so much and have experienced so much, like, you know, you definitely have a story to tell, and just seeing you like tell it, it's to me it's inspiring.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I don't misspeak, and I want to make sure that I'm respectful. I don't want to come across like I'm making any of this about like me or the documentary or anything, but I know I don't have the link, but I know there's a GoFundMe somewhere for helping with everything that is happening in relation to Shay and her family. You guys will understand my role better when you watch it. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil. Can I just say this? When I saw the title of the documentary, it was called Big Girls Wanted. That's such a good title. That's such a good title. You're still the same size as when you left the feederism community. So did you really escape? Or if you're living in the same lifestyle and basically bedbound? So, well, I want to actually collect my thoughts on that for a second, because I'm not living the same lifestyle. I think most people agree everyone has to eat, but not everyone has to eat on money or on camera for money. I mean, true, but I'm not eating for money. I'm just live streaming and I cook. Most of my content is cooking. I just also eat what I cook.
Like I'm so proud of you, and like with this documentary, and
Yeah, oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. We actually watched the Vegas vlogs together within this past week because I wanted him to see it. We hadn't gotten to do that yet.
Good old Roz saw that people were speculating and talking about the upcoming docuseries, and she decided she had something to say.
Everybody's talking too much. And that's annoying me. Number one. Everyone is. Everyone is. And you know what? A little bit of me too right now. Let's be real on that, alright? Actually, I think it's exactly 2 weeks from right now, or just under 2 weeks, till the documentary comes out. And everybody's sharing too much too soon. And that has just been a point of this that has been bothering the fuck out of me. So, I was listening until they talked about bringing up Stefan. And that's when the CEO decided to end the live right there. So at that point, I jumped and I lurked and I watched that part of the conversation because I felt like it was very important for me to know what happened there for my own reasons.
On May 29th, Rosie released this video saying Girl World is a mental illness. She started blaming everything on Girl World. She had haters long before Girl World ever even knew she existed. But now everything is being blamed on Girl World. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we'll jump into the TikTok panels that she canceled her members' live stream for one of them.
Girl World's a mental fucking illness. And I'm done. Hey, Internet. I just wanted to talk for a second because I'm really sitting here just like processing so much in terms of not only my own trauma and in my own experiences that I've shared in the documentary, but there's just a lot happening behind the scenes, a lot happening in my life.
Because Peachy had a friendship with him and she would have taken him into account as well, which is not wrong because you were friends of both.
He's hoping that we all turn on each other and we start attacking all the girls, and then the tension goes off of him.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do that.
And that's what happens in the house all the time. Like, everybody fights each other. He will bring a gossip. This person said this about you. This person did this. We need to deal with this person. And then all the girls gang up on that person until they leave.
What cracks me up in this one is that Rosie's nodding like she knows any damn thing. She wasn't ever in that house. She watched their TikTok in 2021. She tries to insert herself everywhere.
Or, like they start fighting each other.
And I think this is something I've talked to, I know I've talked to Heather about this. I think, Pal, you and I have talked about this. Like, the fact that now we have kind of woken up and really seen the patterns and recognized the true abuse that is happening in that household and with that man. The fact that we are all together and friends, I'm sure pisses him the fuck off, because it's like, cycle will continue to fucking repeat.
Well, I don't fucking do that unless everybody is okay with that.
Can I just say, I was watching, because I mean, essentially, I came across Pearadise organically in 2020. I had that one interaction with Stefan on Discord. I got in the server. Shit was weird. I never pursued anything because I was, when I first was introduced to the concept, I bought into it. Pretty much I think everybody here did, right? And I was like, that sounds so cool. And I stuck around and just observed for a bit, and I caught the Stefan stink. I was like, something's up. So I'm good, actually. And then when Kimmy started talking about everything and everything came through, I was like an online spectator, I think a lot of people were during that time. And I was just kind of watching everything go down. I just wasn't directly involved with Pearadise. And so seeing over and over and over again his pattern of behavior of slandering people, purposefully manipulating information and receipts and things like that over and over again, and then being at the receiving end of that, so when the trailer came out, he came for me immediately, and I realized it was because he was afraid. And he was afraid because he had no idea why I was there. Yeah. And he genuinely couldn't understand, even though, quite frankly, if you just do a little bit of research about me and you put it together, you can kind of piece why I'm there, right? And it had nothing to do with a personal interaction with him. And I've never made that claim. I never made the claim to be a victim of him. I never made a claim of having a close interpersonal relationship. At that point, I had one quote in the trailer, and I was just being attacked. And
an iconic quote, if I'm
girl. Well, thank you.
Honestly, I think the quote is kind of dumb, but they don't tell you the price that you pay. I think that anyone who's been through a high school health class understands that if you eat a shit ton of unhealthy food, you're going to be fat, unhealthy, those are all the prices you pay. I think common sense tells you the price you would pay. And if you're willing to pay that price, that's on you.
So yeah, it's just like, and it's just like, I was originally trying to be a lot more quiet even than being now. I'm still holding so much back because at the end of the day, I don't want to make this all about me because it's not. I'm a part of the documentary and a part of that process for a reason. But
Okay, wait. So just to clarify, because this is really my first time actually like talking to you, even though I think we messaged like a time or
briefly.
two, but like, were you in the Pearadise Discord at all, or did you avoid all of that?
So I mean, I was around like more so as a lurker.
Okay.
But I just, and to be fair, I don't remember a ton of that time. I had my own shit and like trauma going on, and I was doing like, I had just finished up living in a camper for 7 months, like after the most horrific trauma I experienced in the beginning of 2020. Our messages were in November of 2020. I had just like, I have not even unpacked a box yet in Omaha when I got back together with my ex.
Okay.
And at the time I believed I was poly. I am not, and that is actually a part of my own story that I don't want to get too into yet until I see what is and isn't included in the documentary.
He doesn't want to have any emotional responsibility. And it usually happens that he puts somebody in charge of actually handling the girls. And it's fucking insane, man, because I saw it happen with multiple people. At the beginning when I was there, it was Heather.
100%. It's also like, he doesn't want to be poly. He wants to use the label of poly because it's becoming socially acceptable to be poly, right? What Stefan wants is a harem, or a harem, or however you say it. He doesn't want to be poly. He wants a fucking harem.
I obviously zoomed in on Rosie right there because she was nodding and acting like preach, preach, preach. Like she knows this guy. It's really wild. But also, don't forget, Rosie is the one who thought she was being groomed into being poly because her quote-unquote stalker that she went to go visit multiple times and have sex with told her she was poly. No, she just was cheating on her boyfriend, got caught, and came up with a shit story that she's tried to stick with. Like I said, the tabloid told us where she learned about feederism, and it wasn't from this dude.
He wants to be the Hugh Hefner of fat bitches. Like, let's just call a spade a spade.
I mentioned this yesterday, I think, that when his girlfriend became 27, like it was her birthday, and he literally told her that she was getting too old for him. That was literally one of those things of, she started speaking up about how she felt about certain situations. And that was too much for him because he doesn't want to deal with that. So he was moving on to the next person that was still in a complacent mode to see if he could find multiple and keep that going.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, he needs a prefrontal cortex that's moldable. If it's fully developed, he's not into it. Like, it's crazy.
What's crazy is she just said that and her boyfriend is 25. The lack of self-awareness, I have not seen anything like it. Even Amber Lynn is more self-aware than this, and that's fucking sad.
And finding out years later that she's still out there, still defending him and all that, that's crazy to me. I just couldn't be there.
Honestly, I had no idea that they were
only by acting like he's just friends with everybody and he's just helping out everybody. So it comes with also him having like this savior complex. I literally have a shock collar that I bought the other day that literally says use me, but I want to know when I'm being fucking used. And that's all we fucking been telling him. Like, you just gotta let people know when you're using them. And he never does because he doesn't want to have that emotional fucking work to actually tell you.
If consent is not informed and enthusiastic, it is not consent.
Okay, are we kind of getting the idea here? How people might have been under the impression that Rosie was inserting herself in shit that had nothing to do with her?
It's good to see you around. This is a fat ass
reunion.
Yes. Reunion.
And then I'm just here crashing the party.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of
Darlin asked Peachy. He's not at the house no more now.
I haven't lived at the house for like 3 years to help her friends and myself pack up her stuff and get that out of there so we could all like start mourning properly.
That must have been really hard. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say / talk about something. A lot of people have been talking about Rissa in the chat, who I was very unfamiliar with until very recently. Rissa was live on her account, so all I did was join. I didn't say anything, and she's like, "Oh, looks like the trash just drug itself in." And then Stefan walked in a frame, and then she was like, "Let's see who's in the live." And she started to say it, and she was like trying to not say my name. So then she goes, and then she quoted the trailer. And I was like, okay, so she's definitely talking about me. So I just said to her, I was like, I don't think you're trash. Like, and I said a couple things in that live. I think I left a total 3 comments, and I wasn't gonna say anything but she directly called me out, right? So I was like, well, let's say something now, because I'm not just. I think everybody has a right to their story and their perspective and their experiences in relation to all of this. And I just wanted to bring that point up because
no, we just literally had her here. We all been there. Isha was there, Ashley was there, even Cece was there. Like we've been there where we have been like, these are our friends. We need to stick for our friends. We support our friends. And we do and say things sometimes that compromise us a little bit. And we definitely are dealing with that guilt right now.
Honestly,
I'm scared.
Be careful. There's the World's calling to this live. If you would like to moderate me, I can clean some of that up, so it's just not detracting from the fact that like we're not talking about that.
I've seen regarding, like I've seen them around like for a long time. It's just that I don't know.
Gotcha.
Somebody said I didn't mean to request. Okay, cool.
Rosie did a swing and a miss. She said, moderate me. I'll clean up your chat. Pal's like, nah, I'm good.
They have that last night at 3 a.m. There was a plead from Tech, and I kind of went off on him. So yeah, no, they have.
So believe it or not,
I want a safe space. And
Sorry, I'll tell you later what I said. Ashley was so stupid. So stupid.
What Stefan wants is all of us women to attack each other. That is what he wants. And I understand that some of us have beef with each other and we don't like what somebody did here and there and that. But this is about Stefan, and this is about what he creates and how he creates a space that is not safe.
Yo, Paola, there's a certain person in the chat who's just like not letting up and is annoying everyone. Can they just get kicked?
But it's just, to be honest, and I say it, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to stand on it. I was always going to speak up, and I always did. But
Yep.
so, and he was trying to make people get on food stamps to pay for food. I was there. I heard it. I was like, or people who were getting government assistance were using their government assistance for him. No names. For him. I'm going to say it online. I'll DM you. I'll DM you.
no, you can say here or you can do DMs. It don't matter. Things we were told to feel about other people. And then when you meet them.
In this next TikTok live, Rosie goes on to Stefan's panel.
I am being fucking railroaded right now by everybody, by all sides. And if it wasn't...
Sorry, please continue. I don't mean to interrupt you.
This is terrible. Paradise was supposed to be something positive, and where has it gotten us? On a fucking murder mystery channel. Okay, sorry. Now your turn.
No, you're fine, and I apologize. I'm not trying. You gave me that's my time to speak, so I'm not trying to be rude. So, the first thing I want to say out the gate, because it seems to me it's pretty clear that you haven't seen anything that's come directly from me and my content, because I don't involve myself with the LCU. I think that shit's disgusting. But I want to state that this entire time through this process, the timing of Shay's passing is horrible. Regardless of my opinion of you or any person involved, anyone who knew Shay is a human being and deserves grace and time to mourn. And this is a layer of complexity that is deeply upsetting. And I had no relationship with Shay. I never interacted with her. I barely even knew about her or of her. So I won't speak on her as a person, and I haven't this entire time. And I will never want to disrespect that. And regardless of my opinion of you, which I have many, I'm the kind of person where if I say something behind your back, I'll say it to your face, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that like you're someone I would want to be friends with. But I will sit here and say that you're a human being, and that was someone that was close to you, and you have your right to your grief. At the same time, in that grief, I think there's room for grace. However, I find it interesting that that was your first response to when you were acting out and your wrongdoing towards the situation, toward me specifically. Because yes, you are grieving, and there is a layer there where I find understanding, and I don't ever want to discredit that. But I do want to point out that that was your first response, instead of just holding the accountability for your actions. That I do have in screen recording that the words you did say when you did not have the information.
Which part are you talking about?
When you were calling me a bitch, when you were talking about in the last live, when, this live was very different, but the last live when I joined in and someone saw my name and I was dogpiled on for almost 30 minutes, and you said specifically to me that you watched my prior corn content related to feederism.
I didn't watch it. Somebody sent me a clip. Because I had no idea who you are. Like the whole time.
Then I may have misconstrued that clip then. Okay. As someone who, again, you may not know my story, but I'm an ex-feedie. I left feederism in a very big way. I have a podcast interview that I did on the We're All Insane podcast, where I bore my fucking soul on everything I've been through. And Girl World has relentlessly tried to discredit me and make me out into a liar, and like my trauma isn't real, when it very much is.
Why, this is an honest question.
Yes.
Why are you still on social media with that?
Because they're not going to let them drive me off.
Okay,
because I'm not going to let them.
It's a pride issue. I'm not going
to let them. A pride issue? I don't agree with that.
No, that's what I mean.
Okay, well, Stefan, let me ask you the same question.
Yeah.
You have a lot of.
I'll tell you. For me, it's a pride issue. I will not let fucking Piggy Stardust run me off of the internet with a fucking SA for entertainment campaign. I'm not. Like, if I quit, if I hang the towel on this, I'm going to hang the towel because I want to, not because some crazy made me.
While I can agree with the not wanting to hang the towel part of your statement, I deeply disagree that Kimmy is doing SA for entertainment. Like I personally,
She said it herself. She posted it herself, and she got busted. You want me to show you the screenshot? She posted that SA is entertainment.
I have to go, guys. I'm on 1%. I'll message you.
Okay.
Sean.
Team 1%.
I don't. Unless I see that, I don't believe that.
I'll show you. I don't have a problem. Like, listen, Rosie. Everything I say is usually me defending myself, and everything I say, I have receipts for. I'm never going to talk shit about you unless I have receipts. I mean, the only shit I talked about you was literally just like, you know, a little back and forth, like bantering and bullying each other, right? Because it's okay. Like, I really want you to know I'm also completely fine if you absolutely hate me, if you don't like me, whatever. This right here, us two on this screen in front of 500 people having a decent, normal, calm and collected discussion. No screaming, no names, no bullshit, taking turns talking. That's what's called like just common human decency, you know?
At least because I'm speaking about me and my involvement. I believe victims, period.
That's weird. She didn't believe her ex Jeff's victim. She wanted hardcore evidence sent to her inbox. Otherwise, she wasn't going to believe anything.
Where there's been many situations where I feel like you do not hold yourself accountable, you deflect.
Is she talking about Stefan or herself? Because she doesn't hold herself accountable. She deflects. She's done all these things.
And it's not this.
So what happened, from my very vague memory, is I found you organically on TikTok prior to anything blowing up regarding you. I found you and I was like, I saw the videos and I saw what was happening and I was like, oh, if I ever go to Vegas, that would be so cool. At the time, I was actively in feederism, but you made a lot of disgusting comments as well about how like, oh, I probably was just in your Discord because I was looking for feedy stuff and it wasn't there. Like that's just gross.
Rosie.
That's a gross thing to say, Stefan.
I'm curious. Can I ask you a question, hon?
Yes. I don't know.
What's your goal outcome in this whole entire situation?
My goal outcome?
Yeah, like what is your purpose involvement in this whole situation?
That's a very valid question, yeah.
I think that is a good question, but I feel like that falls under stuff that I would want to discuss revolving NDAs, as well as the fact of having, I said in the beginning of this,
not necessarily, because you're giving a lot of output. Go ahead, what?
Thank you, I'd like to finish my answer. What I was saying was, I do not want to speak on my involvement in the docuseries until it is out, and I'm not
talking about the docuseries, honey. I'm talking about the situation with Stefan you were just speaking of. What is your goal outcome of your involvement with the situation right here at hand?
Oh, like with this conversation?
No, with everything. With everything, not the docuseries. We don't have to talk about that. Okay. I understand the NDA. I'm talking about the whole involvement in your situation of what's going on that you're bringing up within this whole conversation the last, 7 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, that is a good question. I'd like a second to think on it.
I've just been curious.
And I think I want to state, to kind of answer the question, I think the reason I kind of impulsively decided to do this was because, one, when I said what I said, I kind of saw it click in your head. So I was like, okay, maybe an actual conversation can be had. And then secondly was when you were talking, oh shit, just flew out of my head. God damn it.
Rain's going 180, I know.
Yeah, no, this is just a lot of pressure because I also know how this is just gonna fucking blow up for me tomorrow in my life, but whatever. When I did impulsively decide to come up here was because I felt like I wanted to defend myself as well. There's so much speculation and people talking about how I'm inserting in myself, and when it's like, you have no idea how I was involved in this project and how early involved I was in it. No one knows that information. And you don't know my story, and I don't want to trauma dump, and I don't want to go there right now.
We talk very openly here about food addiction.
And that, yeah, but my stance, my involvement in this is that I want my story, which I've already been told has helped people escape abusive relationships these past couple years and all of these things. That is something that I have like passion for, and something that I want to be. Is something I find important in this conversation.
I mean, there it is in her own words. Her experiences in feederism and her trauma are so important to this conversation. Ma'am, none of that came up in the documentary. It wasn't important. This woman lives in her trauma from years and years and years ago. Can you imagine going through therapy, years of it allegedly, and none of it working? You still just want to always talk about your trauma? That would be a fucking sad life. Now I have clips from Rosie's next 2 live streams, and then the breakdown on the toilet is coming.
It has been a whirlwind of a time in my life. And I am not even just talking about the docuseries. There are people who have absolutely nothing to do with the project who are trying really hard to make themselves relevant right now to it because it's such a popular topic in spaces where they feel like they have some kind of claim. While at the same time, everyone is giving me so much shit for like, why are you there? Why are you involved? You were never at the house, blah, 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 blah. I was being called a scammer because I canceled a live with every intention of replacing it like I've done every other time. And I was invited that day by Paola to be in her TikTok live. And in DMs, I originally told her no because I'd canceled the live and I knew I was going to get some bullshit. And then I go into the live and I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It is not the same thing for me to sit here and look presentable and be in a horizontal format with my whole setup and versus laying in bed with like my chin up on camera with like, what was it? Like 6 other people? Not the same thing. This is a moment for me. The way that, first of all, Stefan is using that to like discredit my participation in it. What I find like mildly frustrating is like, I know the context of that moment, what I was saying and what I was talking about. That's why I'm not indulging the meme. That's why I'm not saying it when people are asking me to. In my story, I paid some big prices.
Rosie also went on a lot of Zio's lives that she was doing during this time. I don't feel it's important to include those. So we're just going to get straight to the toilet breakdown she has.
Just because I'm not a victim of Stefan does not mean I am not a victim of sexual assault and exploitation in my past.
Cool. You've told us a whole lot of times and you keep bringing it up. And for you to bring it up when the conversation is supposed to be about this documentary and this man and his victims, your victimization is not important here. That is not the topic. And it's definitely not the time to talk about it.
Just because you may not understand why I'm in the dock does not mean that I don't have a right to be there. I'm doing the best that I can from everything that's happened in the past couple weeks to not make problems for anybody else. I just wish someone gave a singular fuck about the fact that I'm a person with trauma too.
If Rosie is expecting online strangers to care about her trauma, that's crazy. Most of us don't talk about our trauma to the wider internet. Rosie wants to, fine, but don't expect everyone to feel sorry for you when the conversation is about people who have been victimized recently. People whose stories are just now being told.
And that trauma is real. The past several days, I have gone out of my way to shut the fuck up. Because it doesn't matter what I do. I am being relentlessly attacked. I just saw a comment on a video that had nothing to do with me, that was about me and how I'm making everything about me when I wasn't even in the video.
I don't need to tell you guys, you've been watching this whole video. What do you think? Has she made it about her? I tend to agree with that sentiment.
Girl World is using this opportunity to make me out to look like a fucking monster while creating the problem. And I just did not anticipate certain parts of this. I'm not talking about the live stream stuff and all of that. I've said what I've said on that, and I I'm culpable in that aspect. I'm talking specifically about how people keep saying actual victims.
Yes, Rosie. According to this docu-series, Stefan has many, many victims. You are not one of them.
Watching people twist some of my most personal trauma into how I'm a liar. Like, I think the big one I saw was when I was in those streams and I was being just barraged with hate. People were saying that I lied about, like, I said that I was basically raped over the internet, like, that all this stuff, when they took a real traumatic experience out of context. He coerced me into doing something I've never even told a therapist about. And that is just one of the things he did during an 8-year period. That story is real. I've never fucking lied about that or any of my fucking trauma. I'm just a person, man. This is real. I'm not lying. And I'm trying to do everything I can to not make things worse. But it's like I'm constantly caught between this push and pull of, like, wanting to speak out and defend myself and wanting to stay quiet to not cause more problems. All I know is I'm really anxious about tonight, because just because Stefan isn't the one that hurt me doesn't mean I wasn't hurt.
It's so wild how Rosie makes herself into this victim and then expects us all to buy it. Like, girl, you were the one who went on all those live streams. You created all these problems. Now you should have to deal with the consequences. I left out a lot of that rant because it was just too much, but this was just a point to prove that it was not Girl World making this all about Rosie. She's been talking about this since September of last year. She has tried to make this center around her. And then when the doc came out, and obviously she got 1 minute and 14 seconds, she acted like Girl World was the culprit in making her the center of the story that she wasn't a part of. I wanted all this information in one place so that people can go back and look and see how she was acting when she was in Vegas. You know, she had her sleeping bed and her eating bed. She was eating her way through Vegas while talking about feederism. When the documentary trailer dropped, she was all over that shit, acting like this was some big opportunity for her. And I have my own plot in the documentary. Well, we saw that wasn't true. She thought she did. Wrong. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this was an extra long video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Was it Rosie making it about her, or was it Girl World? Was it a mix of the two? Let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody.